All right. Thank you so much. Welcome all of you to this mastermind, this masterclass. And the whole agenda for today's masterclass is to talk about Reset Life Mastermind. As some of you are already aware, last week we did a 5-day challenge. And in that 5-day challenge, what we asked all of you to do is to participate and work on individually one of the area on each of the day. So what I will do is, first of all, I will start with briefing uh, and summarizing the 5 days challenge, out of which 4 days were shared to you guys with the form in the form of video. And today I'm going to go deep into the mindset aspect of reset. So how many of you are ready for today's masterclass? Type out ready in the chat box if you are. Type out ready in the chat box if you are ready for today's masterclass. Let me see how many of you are actually ready. All right, thank you so much. And how many of you were able to participate into the declutter challenge that we posted in the group? How many of you were able to participate and follow through? Just type out me in the chat box if you were able to do that. Type out me in the chat box if you were able to do that. All right, quite a few of you. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, so here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to first start with summarizing the entire 5-day challenge for you. And we started the entire 5-day challenge with this digital detox, where I asked all of you to start with a digital detox. What is detox? It is, in a way, allowing more energy and creating more space for energy. And it started with me asking you guys to uninstall some of the unused app. I asked you to take away some of the OTT platform. I asked you to measure your screen time, and then I also asked you to replace it with Audible and Spotify as an app. So this is what we started off with the day one, which is a digital detox. Day two was about emotional detox. Now, what is emotion? Emotion is nothing but your energy in motion. And what we did with emotional detox is we asked you guys to identify people who are your energy vampire and who are taking away a lot of energy from you. And this could be actually people like your bosses, people like your colleagues, who takes away actually a lot of energy from us. So we identify them and we work to ensure that we distance ourselves from them. If these people are your family members, and there's no way, Jogesh, that I can go away from these people in my family, then you try to create a mindset that the only thing that you can then do is to not respond and not react. Because when you respond, when you react, what happens is it takes away your energy. Third is identify people who fills away and who fills you with a lot of positive emotion. Who are those people around us who kind of makes us feel good, makes us feel special, makes us feel loved, makes us feel cared? Who are those people? Identifying them and ensuring that uh, you spend more time with them, because that's what fills your emotional energy. And then I also kind of talked about the importance of emotional check-in. And I gave this analogy where a lot of time we visit places, we visit countries, we visit special places, and during that time what we do is we check into that place and let the world know that, you know what, I have checked into this place. Same way, just being aware about what kind of emotion are you experiencing right now, right? Like right now, what are you feeling right now? ensuring that your emotions are checked in is what one of the things that you must also always look out for. Now, let's do this exercise right now. Let me know in the chat box, what is your emotional check-in for now? How are you feeling right now in the chat box? What is one emotion that you want to, that would describe your emotional, how are you feeling right now? Go ahead and type out in the chat box for me, how are you feeling right now? Excited, happy, curious, okay, eager, excited, all right, excited, feeling encouraged, feeling happy, feeling excited. Now, let me see if I can, excuse me, 1 second. Let me see, taking a minute. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to internet, and I'm going to look for an emotional wheel. I don't know how many of you are aware about this emotional wheel, but it is an interesting concept. So if you can see my screen, and if you look at an emotion, you will by and large experience this top 5, 6 emotions, 7 emotion to be very precise, right? And when I asked, like if you look at the chat box here, there are people who are saying, I'm feeling excited, I'm feeling happy, and that's it. The problem with a lot of us here is that we are not able to express our emotion. Why? Because we lack emotion, our expression vocabulary. We lack our expression vocabulary. What do I mean by that? There will be very few emotion that you will be able to experience yourself and tag yourself into, even if the emotion is something different. Example, you said excited. Now, if you look at this entire wheel, I want you to pick up an emotion right now out of these 7, just one out of these 7. Let's say you pick up an emotion as happy, you're feeling happy. Good. Now go one more step deep, and from in this yellow portion, identify which one emotion within happy are you feeling right now. Is it playful? Is it content? Is it interested, proud, accepted, powerful, peaceful, trusting, optimistic? And you might say, Yogesh, you know what? I'm feeling proud. I'm feeling proud. Okay. I'll say, okay, good. So, you're feeling happy. You're feeling proud. Now, I want you to go one more step ahead, because this is one thing about emotion, guys, and write it down somewhere if you want. Emotion will always come as a family. There's no single emotion you will experience ever. Emotion will be mixed. You will always have a mixed emotion. So you said you feel happy. Within happy, it's a proud moment, and within that, what do you feel? You feel successful. You feel confident. The point here is that, do we have enough of our emotional vocabulary? Do we have enough for us to express ourselves as to how are we actually feeling? Now, can you, for me, go back and tell me what is your emotion right now? If you were able to pick up uh, the emotional chart that I showed, let me know in the chat box. What is your emotional check-in right now? Go ahead. Pick up an emotion. Pick up sub-emotion, and then pick up the family, the third level. Take a minute. Go ahead. Let me know in the chat box if you are ready with your emotion. Happy, peaceful, thankful. How about others? How about others? What do you feel right now? Go ahead, guys. Okay. Happy, peaceful, thankful. Let me know. I'm waiting for your responses. Excited, surprised, and energetic. Okay. Go on, go on, go on. Quickly. Can you hear me, guys? Happy, peaceful, thankful, surprised, optimistic, hopeful, happy. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Excited, curious, okay, hopeful. Let me share the chart again for those who missed out. Check this. And I must tell you guys, if you do this emotional check-in at least twice a day, you will feel better as you progress for a 5 day or 7 day or 11 day or 21 days challenge. You do that, you'll feel better. You start acknowledging your emotion is the moment you start feeling better. We don't know how we feel as the day progresses. So this was when I said, okay, let's talk about emotion. So that was the day 2. We worked on identifying who are the people who are energy vampire. We designed a strategy and way to respond to, not react to. We also identified who are the people who fills our emotion with joy, with positivity, and then doing emotional check-in. Day 3 is about mental detox. I asked you guys to do some journaling, uh, identify what keeps you mentally occupied, write at least for 10 minutes about that one thing which keeps you occupied majority of the time, and then observe the writing of last 3 to 4 minutes only. Why? Because only during those 3 to 5 minutes you will write something which will come from your subconscious. And I must tell you that this is a powerful exercise. It helps you to put your mind on a piece of paper. It helps you to really create a mental space for yourself. And then the day 4, when I asked you guys to work on physical detox, identify which part of the house or work area you want to create more space, discard things which are unnecessary and not in use, and keep this as a consistent. How many of you agree that the entire detox thing is a recurring activity? It's not a one-time act, it's a recurring activity. How many of you agree? Type out agree in the chat box if you agree. That's not just a one-time activity, it's a recurring activity that we get into. And the more recurring and more frequently we do this, the better are the chances that you will feel more energetic and you will have space for more energy. Now, with this, we are coming to the final day, which is day number 5. How many of you actually followed all the 4 audios which when I shared? How many of you were able to follow all the 4 audios and work on all the 4 areas? Just let me know if you were able to work on all of these 4 areas for yourself. Okay, you're able to do 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Now today, before I proceed, anyone who would like to share your experience after doing this activity for all the 3 days or 2 days or maybe even a single day activity you tried? Anyone, please raise your virtual hand and then you can unmute yourself, or maybe I'll help you to get unmuted. Yeah, Ananya, go ahead.
It was quite exciting, that emotional check-in that I did at various times during the day. I was always feeling maybe I was occupied with a lot of things during the day, but when I checked in, I was always feeling how do I say, like, very happy, peaceful, and I was blissful all the time. So anytime I check in, I was
Okay. Okay, good to know that. Good to know that.
even I didn't know that I was so blissful within than with the situations around me. It was very interesting check-in that I did, and I was really liked it. I quite do it quite often nowadays.
Interesting. Okay, great. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else who did this activity for 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days? Yeah, Shaleen, go ahead.
Yeah, even though I was with a lot of family functions and family time, but I was able to do 3 days, and it was little difficult. Rather, it was little challenging for me. Example, delete all the OTT platforms. Well, I have not taken. I don't see OTT platform, but I deleted them without thinking. And even LinkedIn, I had deleted, so that let's see what happens.
Okay.
And it was a great. It was very challenging for first few hours, but it was well taken up and well done for at least 3 days, which I could do it.
Okay, good, good.
It was nice, and it was nice challenging, and I would surely try to do this every not every month, but at least alternate months.
Got it.
It's very challenging and very nice.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Uh, anyone else? One more person, then we'll move forward. Yeah, Sandeep ji.
Yogesh, actually, I followed all the 5 days, but out of all the 5 days, I would say my contribution to the full extent was first was digital detox, wherein I removed all the unwanted apps and other. It made not only me feel light, but my mobile also. It made like it freed almost 11 GB.
Oh, good, very good, nice.
So, and the second was emotional and mental detox. I did both, but I think these two are interrelated, and that is why I wrote two when I answered your question. And these were the most contributing things for me in this 5 day challenge. Even of course, other two also contributed, but were most this thing. which has helped me to enhance my activity, focus, increase my focus more,
Okay, got it.
feel lighter and happier.
Makes sense.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thanks
sharing
for
that. Yeah,
this wonderful assignment.
I'm glad you were able to apply and work towards it. So here is the next segment of the entire 5-day challenge, and today that's why we will graduate out of this 5-day challenge. What I want you to do is pick up a life goal that you want to work on for next 90 days, and it should be measurable, it should be specific, it should be time bounded, it should be yeah, so all the smart definition. Pick up a 90 days life goal, please, all of you, and write it in capital for me on a notepad and a pen. And this is a beautiful exercise that we're going to do. 90 days, one goal. 90 days, yeah, once you've done writing the goal, let us know in the chat box. Can you be more specific, Ananya? It is not specific. I need more specific. How would you know that you've achieved this goal? Write one goal that you want to accomplish in next 90 days. And by the end of 90 days, when you reach and accomplish that timeline, it should be, you should know that, okay, I have accomplished this goal, I have achieved this goal. And I want you to write down on a piece of paper. Once you've written the goal, type out type done in the chat box once you've written the goal. 90 days, specific, clear, measurable. Type done in the chat box once you're done writing. And please participate through this exercise. I find that unless uh, you participate into this exercise, there's, I mean, there's no point of just knowing about this exercise. Absolute 0 point. So if you want, you're here investing your precious time, better pick up pen and paper and start doing what I'm guiding you to do. Step number 1 in that exercise is to write down that goal. Write that down. It should be measurable. It should be specific. You should know by the end of 90 days, which is maybe 31st of the month, 30th of October or 1st of November, maybe. Once you're done writing, type out done in the chat box. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Now, can we move to the next part of next section, next step? Okay. The next step, guys, is where what you want to do now is write down all the reasons that you think you cannot achieve this goal. And I'm sure you have many of them. And like, as you write the second step, maybe divide the entire page into two parts. One part, you're just writing all the reasons why you cannot accomplish this goal. So maybe the goal is to publish a book, and that's a goal that you've taken, maybe. And why you cannot accomplish that goal? Because I don't know how to publish a book, or I don't know whether there will be a reader base for me to, when I publish this book, there will be a reader base, or that I want to accomplish, or, I want to get a job for myself as a senior manager into an MNC in Mumbai, or that's a goal, maybe. So why I cannot get a job? Because there are not enough opportunities for me. Why I cannot get a job? Because I have a career break. Why I cannot get a job? Because I'm not relevant at this point in time in my career. I'm replaced by freshers. I'm replaced by less experienced people, which are available at a lesser budget than what I would require. I want you to write as many reasons as you can that you cannot accomplish this goal, and don't keep any of the reason to yourself. Write all of these reasons on a piece of paper, and I want to see who does come up with the maximum number of reasons that you cannot accomplish that goal. And this is a section which is very important, let me tell you that. Let me see who is the one comes up with a maximum number of reasons that you cannot. And ask, and I'll tell you one thing, okay? Maybe you have set this goal in past. Not that you've not set this goal in past, but ask yourself, what is the mental conversation you were having throughout? As you were chasing that goal, there was this mental conversation you were having of why, and it is happening very subconscious, it is happening very unconsciously, that you're telling yourself कि यार मैं लिख तो लिया हूं, but शायद नहीं होगा, maybe I'll not be able to accomplish it. Write down all the reasons, all the reasons. Go ahead. Maybe you have experienced something. Maybe you heard someone talking about that goal, and maybe that led to you forming a belief that it's not possible. Whatever it is, write down all the reasons why you cannot accomplish that goal. All the reasons. Don't leave in even a single one. Once you've done writing those goals and the reasons why you cannot accomplish, just raise your hand, and once all the hands are raised, we'll understand that the exercise is done. This is the most crucial aspect. This is where you would know how much of self awareness do you carry in terms of understanding what the dialogue is within. And if you're finding challenge in identifying the reasons and you feel that, you know what, I've not found many reasons, then maybe what you could do is create version 2 later on, maybe after a week or 10 days. But till those 10 days, observe your conversation that you're having with yourself. The moment you start working on those actions, maybe you start applying for jobs, maybe you start writing your content for the book, observe that mental conversation that's happening inside your mind, and that will give you indication as to why you cannot accomplish the goal that you've set for yourself. Anyone would like to share? Anyone would like to share the goal and then the reasons that they mentioned as to why the goal cannot be accomplished? Okay, Sandeep ji, go ahead.
Uh, my goal is launch my online course, and the limitations based on my past experience, whatever I am doing right now, are: one is managing and finding time. Maybe this may be the limitation. A lack of soft skills, like lack of vocabulary or finding right word,
Mm.
and how do I say, um, making video and posting the videos, that
Okay.
is content creation.
Mm.
um, who will be my audience,
Mm.
this question. How can I show my authorization on the subject without
Hmm.
having proper content, without posting proper content?
Hmm.
Impulsive mindset
What do you
can
mean
be
by
one of
that?
my many times means, for example, I listen to you, then I feel, yeah, right, this is a very correct this thing, and I should do this.
Hmm.
Maybe that is not the right time to do, but because that point is important and I feel the importance of that point, my mind impulsively start acting on that or start thinking on that.
Hmm.
So similarly for any other things which I may listen or I may come across,
Okay. Got it. Got it.
which may waste my time or distract me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And one more point I am working hard on is to develop action taker habit.
Okay.
Mindset is there, but that habit has to come.
Okay.
Now, whatever decided is to be finished.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So these are the few points I have noted down right now.
Got it. Interesting. Now, how many of you observe that whatever limitation that you have written, how many of you were able to count how many line items do you have? Let me know in the chat box. How many line items? 12, 7, 8, 9, 13, 10, 16, 7. Now, what are these? If you observe very closely, please note that this is the identity which is associated with that goal. Let me repeat. It is the identity that is associated with that goal. Now, if this limiting identity is associated with the goal that you've set, there's no way you will be able to accomplish that goal. Why? Because there's a leakage in the identity. There's a leakage in confidence. There's a leakage in actions. And even if there is an action that is being followed up, there's a hesitant energy rather than being a very confirmed and confident energy. There's a hesitant energy in the play. So what do we do now? What do we do now? What do you think? What should we do now? Anyone? What do we do now? Anyone? Let me see. If there's anyone who can share, what do you think should we do now? Take action, okay, but with the same identity, no action will help. There's a change, yeah, there's a reset which is needed. Okay, so what do we do now? What do we do now? How do we reset? Okay, change the mindset, change in
Write,
brand.
write all the possibilities of getting that achieved.
Okay, okay. Now, here is a here is the most important aspect that you will do now as a next step number 3. If you remember, I asked you to divide that into 2 parts, the entire page. For each of these beliefs that you have, for each of the line item that you've what I want you to do is write a counter of your belief. So if the belief is that I'm not an action taker, or I need better vocabulary, what is it that you will need to change that to? You will need to change it to maybe learning 1 word a day. So next time when you say that, okay, I need better vocabulary, what you would say is, I started learning one word per day. That will help me improve my vocabulary. If the belief is, let's say, I'm not an action taker, to changing your identity in your mind that, okay, I started taking actions, setting up weekly goals, planning my day in advance, and that is enough. If the belief is that uh, there are no opportunities in the marketplace, ask yourself what can be the better belief you can give there in terms of how do I tap into more opportunities faster and smarter. So the focus is not on telling yourself a story, but the focus is entirely now as to how can you change that story for yourself. How many of you think this is powerful? Type out powerful in the chat box if you think it is powerful. Right? So please take some time there and write down for each of these line items, each of these pointers that you mentioned. I want you to write down a counter belief. I want you to write down uh, alternate belief. I want you to write down alternate conversation there. Please go ahead and write down for each of these line items that you mentioned, 7, 10, 12. There has to be an alternate conversation. So next time when you actually uh, you know uh, when you give that story to yourself, there is a counter story that will come as a way for you to communicate. Yeah, go ahead. I'll get some water for myself. Please complete this. I'll give you a couple of minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to do this activity. I'll get some water for myself. How are you doing? I'm back. Anyone who was able to change some of the beliefs fundamentally? We'll take someone else this time. Sandeep ji is very active today. Let me pick up Shantaram. Shantaram, you there? You can unmute yourself. I think he's not there. We'll go to Rajesh. Rajesh Babu, are you there? Award Muturaj. Okay, let's go to Aishwarya. I think a lot of passive participation today. Shalin, why don't you go ahead and share what your goal is? What is one limiting belief that you have, and then also the new belief that you've written.
I just put up a goal of myself for 90 days. Basically, looking out for opportunities, obviously, but the commitments. I've got something around 16 odd. What is holding me back, which I feel so. Uh, so one is I thought just put it up. Not committed, scared, not able to accept failures, not technical sound, lack of awareness. So these are things which I have put it up as all the negative points first, and what I have to do, that I have written down in the next side by side. Then uh, not able to learn new things, not able to challenge myself, lack of rather feeling bad, not able to support my family financially, and want to be in a comfort zone.
Okay.
So these are the points, negative point of it, and what I'm going to do for it is take a challenge week by week. uh, Lazy, I put myself as lazy, but I'm not lazy. I do plan myself the day. I plan my with timers. I plan my things with a lot of aggression. I challenge myself to put around 4 to 5 uh, challenges in a day, and I at least complete at least 4 of them. So that is going out of my books, being a lazy part. So these are the points which I'm trying to work on, and that's how it will be week by week. I will be able to change myself.
Got it. Thank you for sharing, Shali. Yeah, Lakshmi, would you like to share if you were able to follow the entire three-step process that I talked about, Lakshmi? You can unmute yourself. Okay, we'll go to Patrick. We'll go to Ishika. Arun, you there? I'm surprised. So many people are not actively participating, but just passively listening. Umaji, okay. So what I'm going to do now is quickly summarize what we done in the 5-day challenge of digital of the declutter that we talked about. So we started with giving you guys 4 different challenges on 4 different days, and let me quickly summarize that. We started with digital detox, then we said emotional detox, then we talked about mental detox, and then the physical detox. And today I gave you a 3-step blueprint. Step number 1 was to identify an area in your career, in your life, that you want to accomplish. What is that one goal that you want to accomplish? That was the step number 1. Step number 2 was where we looked at what is it that can stop us from achieving that goal, and you wrote all the reasons which will stop you from accomplishing that goal. And then we looked at the step number 3, which was what? Step number 3 was about you looking at ways to counter the belief that you have fundamentally on why you cannot accomplish that goal. And as you not just with this goal, any goal for that matter, you can do this exercise. And please know that every time your mind gets into that conversation that, you know what, like Shalin mentioned, that maybe I'm lazy, maybe I'm not productive enough. Every time it gets into that conversation, every time he will have this counter intuitive belief that will come in a way and will help Shalin to counter the core limiting belief that he might have. Okay, so that was the whole idea for today's masterclass. I hope it was helpful to all those who actively participated and did this 3-step process throughout this session. Uh, I hope this session was helpful to all those who were ready to take actions and work on these elements. Now, how many of you would like to learn more? Type out more in the chat box. Would like to learn more? Let me see how many of you are. All right. So what I'm going to do is, as you all know, that I've got more into a very intense conversations with people who have come forward and attended my one-to-one session. And these are 40 to 45 minutes of complimentary audit of life and career that I do in that 1 hour almost of conversation that we do. But it is not for everyone. Although it is complimentary, it is not for everyone. It is entirely application based. So how many of you would like to spend 35, 40, 45 minutes with me and have me audit your career and help you audit, facilitate that conversation to audit your life as well? Type out me in the chat box if you want me to have that 40, 45 minutes of conversation with you and help you in one area of your life. Type out me in the chat box. And this is going to be application based, which means what? Which means it is not for everyone. It is for only people who gets shortlisted for the call. So you get a slot does not mean that uh, you will have a session with me. After you have applied through, the team will look into your application and then approve of. So if you are keen, I'm putting a link, limited slots, application based. What I want you to do is book this audit with me for 30 to 45 minutes of your time. Ensure you show up, because if you don't, my team will stay connected with you. But if you don't show up, your name gets into the reject list, and you do not get any chance to, attend the sessions and attend the one-on-ones as well. Yeah. So click on this link. There will be a form. There will be a form on this link. What I want you to do is, we've got a couple of minutes here. I want you to, number one, pick up a slot, say confirm, and then there will be this form. I want you to fill this form, and once this form is filled in and sent to, my team will scrutinize and give you a confirmation. So go ahead, click on the link that I've given you in the chat box. Yeah, go ahead, that's the link in the chat box, and book your, apply for your call, apply for your call.